You're keeping account of lap leader. Spike takes the lead. And the Himmelgarn-Johnson machine. Now Luyendyk gets a challenge from contact. Down the backstretch. Luyendyk goes over.
Very, very fun. On top of Taylor, but fortunately it didn't look like any, I think they're both going to be all right, actually, just as long as it stays like Arie got upside down there, but didn't hit the contact of the wall. Boy, you're always scared when you have head, but from the in-car, I think they're both going to be okay, but boy, that was a very scary ride right there.
Very, very frightening incident here on lap 39. Mark Taylor takes the steering wheel off, his car heavily damaged. That's why they work so hard to make these Dalaras. These are all identically prepared Dallara chassis. And Luyendyk also taking the steering wheel off as he will climb out. There is Arie Luyendyk Jr., our pole sitter, who had led the first 37 laps. A frightening moment here on lap 39 at Texas Motor Speedway.
Two very fortunate guys right there.
Let's see what happened here a moment ago. Coming down the backstretch, 180 miles an hour.
Boy, looked like Arie just didn't realize Mark was there and turned up. Actually, turned to the right, and there was Mark on the outside of him, and just nowhere. Right there, he took that little turn. Boy, those were two very fortunate guys right there. That could have been, it was an ugly wreck, but fortunately these cars are built to have accidents as long as they're built to have speed, and
wow,
both of them walking away from
Look at that onboard camera shot up underneath the car of, look again, Arie Luyendyk Jr. turning right. And we're going to slow this down a bit. Onboard camera on the Firestone winners onboard. Look at Luyendyk's car go over, tumble over against the outside concrete. The bottom of Dallara now climbs up across Mark Taylor's car, and that's the onboard camera giving you that shot. They're still going backwards now at over 120 miles an hour, scrubbing off speed, and in a moment, Luyendyk's car will flip off the top and come back down on what's left of the chassis. There goes Luyendyk's car back off the top, and it takes part of Taylor's camera with it.
Wow, very, very far. Like I said, I know this racetrack, and when you get into that fencing like that, it means trouble usually. And so Arie Jr. is very fortunate that when he got up above like that, it did not get in the fencing and kept on the racetrack. All looks good, but it's still going to jump off again and go for another little bounce.
You don't realize they're still going about 80 miles an hour,
yeah.
And that car hits and just slides off the top of Mark Taylor's machine. Wow. You got to give a call to Roger Bailey, the executive director of this series, Butch Meyer, Rick Mears, all the people who make sure these cars are as safe as they could possibly be. They're all identical Dallara chassis with the Infiniti Q45 engines in them. And once again, watch this impact. He just turns, look like he turns right there, right in front of Taylor.
He turns right in front. He didn't realize that Taylor was there, and he turned up to go on the outside of Fike to try to get that lead back, and caught his right rear onto Taylor's left front, and boy, there it went. And I know it's not that much fun for Taylor either. I mean, he looked like he had the easier of the two of them because he wasn't flying around. But Atlanta a few years ago, when, if you can remember, the IndyCar wreck coming off of turn 4, and I remember Casey Mears and Jack Miller going over the top of me, and fire and flames going on, and even though you're on the ground and you're not flying around, it's still not that much fun when cars are going over the top of you.
And you see the other point I want to point out on the safety when you talk about how these cars are. They use the same kind of safety parameters for this Menards Infiniti Pro Series that they use in the IRL IndyCar Series that Brian Barnhart mandates. None of those wheels and tires separate. Everything stayed together. The parts stayed together. This kind of impact, it just goes to show you how far we have come. As you see Luyendyk's car from a cross camera coming across. Both drivers able to walk away from a spectacular accident, and the tethers held everything intact. We will come back and update these drivers and more from Texas in just a moment.